Let's talk about gardens. They are our little slices of paradise, where we can escape the hustle and bustle of daily life. Whether you have a small balcony garden or a sprawling backyard, the joy of seeing your plants grow and thrive is unmatched. Tomatoes, cucumbers, those beautiful sunflowers. Each plant has its own charm and brings something unique to your garden. Tomatoes with their juicy red fruits are a staple in many gardens. Cucumbers, with their refreshing crunch, are perfect for summer salads, and sunflowers with their bright, cheerful faces can light up any garden space. But sometimes our gardens need a little help to grow big and strong. Just like us, plants need the right nutrients to thrive. Without proper care, they can become weak and susceptible to diseases and pests. That's why it's important to give them a helping hand. That's where manure comes in. Manure is an excellent natural fertilizer that can provide your plants with the nutrients they need. It's been used for centuries to enrich the soil and promote healthy plant growth. Manure is like a superfood for your plants. It's packed with essential nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, which are vital for plant growth. When you mix manure into your soil, you're giving your plants a nutrient boost that can help them grow bigger and stronger. It's full of nutrients. These nutrients help improve soil structure, increase water retention, and promote healthy root development. With nutrient-rich soil, your plants will have everything they need to thrive. But hold on, there's a catch. Not all manure is created equal. Sometimes manure can contain harmful substances that can damage your plants' herbicides. Herbicides are chemicals used to kill unwanted plants, but they can also harm your garden plants if they're present in the manure. Don't worry, we can test for that, and it's easy. By testing your soil, you can ensure that your manure is safe and free from harmful chemicals. There are simple DIY testing kits available that can help you check for herbicides and other contaminants. We're going to learn how to be garden detectives. By being vigilant and testing your soil, you can protect your garden and ensure that your plants get the best possible care. So let's roll up our sleeves and get started on this exciting journey to keep our gardens healthy and thriving. Herbicides are chemicals that kill weeds. That might sound good, but some herbicides can stay in the manure for a long time. If those herbicides get into your garden, they can harm your precious plants. One tricky herbicide is called Grazon. It's often used on pastures. When animals eat the grass, Grazon can end up in their manure. Yikes! That's why testing your manure is super important. Now, I'll guide you through the process of setting up a simple yet effective herbicide detective station right in your own garden. This will help you determine if your manure is contaminated with herbicides. Okay, let's set up our test. First, gather all the necessary materials. You will need 2 pots, potting soil, manure, seeds, labels, and a watering can. Make sure you have everything ready before you start. First, label your pots. 1 control and 1 manure. This is crucial for keeping track of which pot contains the manure and which one does not. Use a permanent marker to write clearly on the labels. Next, fill both pots with potting soil. Ensure that the soil is evenly distributed and reaches about 3/4 of the way up the pot. This will provide a good base for your seeds to grow. In the control pot, plant your seeds according to the package directions. Follow the instructions carefully, as different seeds have different planting depths and spacing requirements. This will ensure that your seeds have the best chance of germinating and growing. For the manure pot, mix a little bit of manure with the potting soil before planting your seeds. Use a small trowel to blend the manure evenly with the soil. This will help you determine if the manure is affecting the growth of your plants. Then, water both pots gently. Be careful not to overwater, as this can cause the seeds to rot. Use a watering can with a fine rose to ensure a gentle and even distribution of water. Now find a sunny spot for your pots and let the science begin. Place the pots in an area that receives plenty of sunlight, as this will help the seeds to germinate and grow. Here's what to look for. Over the next few weeks, observe the growth of the plants in both pots. Take notes on any differences you see between the control pot and the manure pot. This will help you determine if the manure is contaminated with herbicides. This period is critical for observing any changes in your plants. You'll need to be vigilant and patient, as some signs of contamination may take a little time to appear. Start by closely monitoring the leaves, stems, and overall growth of your plants. Take detailed notes and even photographs if possible. This will help you track any changes and compare the health of your plants over time. In your control pot, your plants should be growing strong and healthy. This pot serves as your baseline, showing you what healthy growth looks like without the influence of the manure. Look for vibrant green leaves, sturdy stems, and consistent growth. This is what we want. Healthy plants in the control pot indicate that your gardening conditions are ideal. It's a good sign that your soil, water, and care routines are all working well. In the manure pot, if the plants look just as good as the control pot, your manure is most likely safe. This means that the manure is providing the nutrients your plants need without introducing harmful substances. But if you see stunted or sickly plants, this is a red flag. Stunted growth, yellowing leaves, or other signs of distress can indicate that something is wrong. This might mean there are herbicides in your manure. Herbicides can be particularly harmful as they are designed to kill unwanted plants. If these chemicals are present in your manure, they can severely damage or even kill your garden plants. It's essential to identify this early to prevent further damage. To confirm the presence of herbicides, you can conduct a simple bioassay test. Take a small sample of the manure and mix it with some soil in a separate pot. Plant a few fast-growing seeds like beans or peas and observe their growth over the next few weeks. If these plants show signs of distress similar to those in your manure pot, it's a strong indication that herbicides are present. Consulting with local gardening experts or extension services can also provide valuable insights. They can help you identify specific symptoms and recommend further testing or solutions. Don't hesitate to reach out for professional advice if you're unsure about the safety of your manure. If you discover that your manure is contaminated, don't despair. There are steps you can take to mitigate the damage. One option is to compost the manure thoroughly. Proper composting can break down many harmful substances, including some herbicides. Ensure that your compost pile reaches the right temperature and is turned regularly to promote decomposition. In the meantime, consider using alternative fertilizers. Organic fertilizers, such as compost, worm castings, or well-rotted manure from a trusted source, can provide the nutrients your plants need without the risk of contamination. Always source your manure and compost from reputable suppliers to minimize the risk of introducing harmful substances into your garden. Remember, the health of your garden depends on the quality of the inputs you use. By being vigilant and proactive, you can ensure that your manure is safe and your plants thrive. Here are a few more tips to keep your garden happy. Ask your manure source if they use herbicides. It's always good to double-check. Compost your manure for a few months. This can help break down some herbicides. If you're unsure, it's better to be safe than sorry. Stick with composted manure or other organic fertilizers. See, testing your manure is easy peasy. By being cautious, you can make sure your garden is a safe and healthy place for all your plants to thrive. Now go out there and grow something amazing. Happy gardening!